Hey everybody, Timmy Flyersguy here. And Flyers hockey is nearing even closer. That's right, folks. Flyers hockey will be coming back on September 21st, 2025. That game will be on Sunday, September 21st, as the Flyers face off against the New York Islanders. That being said, on September, coming to YouTube, on September 21st, it's Flyers pregame report, the first episode of 2025. That's right, folks. And this time, Flyers pregame report has a whole new look, as you can see with this new logo. Not only does it have a new logo, but you'll also see a different intro this year as well. That being also, I'll be reporting many great action-packed Flyers games before they happen. I'll have pregame coverage of every single Philadelphia Flyers game this season on Flyers pregame report coming September 21st, 2025. Flyers pregame report is back and better than ever. So get ready. September 21st, it's about to go down with the new look Flyers pregame report coming Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on the Timmy Flyersguy YouTube channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to another edition of the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast. I'm your host, Timmy Flyersguy. And in today's episode, I have a lot to talk about. Before I get into that, I'm talking about how things have been going in my life lately. Things have been going pretty damn good so far. I've been feeling pretty good. Life is going good. as I'm getting ready for the upcoming Philadelphia Flyers preseason. And I think next week will be the preseason. I think next week we can prepare for the preseason. Well, not this Sunday, but I think next Sunday will be the first official game of the preseason. Not the first official game of the regular season. That's not till October 9th. Well, before I get into, well, anyway, got a lot to talk about here on this podcast. I am going to be addressing the rumors of Carter Hart returning to the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm also going to be talking about the return of AJ Lee that happened last week on WWE SmackDown, and I'll also be talking about Monday Night Raw. Is the episode I also will be talking about this week's episode of Monday Night Raw as well. I don't really do reviews of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown because of what happened. I really want to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw, but I also want to talk about what happened on SmackDown as well. So we get a big episode here. Before we get into those segments on this episode, I'd just like to say that on Friday, September 12th, and Saturday, September 13th, the Philadelphia Flyers, New York Rangers, Rookie Series will be starting on Friday, September 12th, and Saturday, September 13th. I think it should be televised on TV. The games will be at the PPL Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So I suggest you go out there, see the future of the Philadelphia Flyers in Allentown on Friday, September 12th, and Saturday, September 13th. Those games are coming up this weekend. So if you're interested in going to see the future of the Philadelphia Flyers, I suggest you go out there to Allentown, support the Flyers, and support the future of the Philadelphia Flyers as well. So those two games will be Friday and Saturday if you want to check those games out. Also, before we get into this episode, the Philadelphia Flyers national TV schedule was just released a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to read out the games that will be televised on national TV. So, without further ado, let's read into this. Let me read here on the Flyers website right now. And here we go. It says, the National Hockey League, in conjunction with the United States Media Broadcast Rights shareholders, ESPN, the Walt Disney Company, TWDC, and TNT, announced that the national broadcast schedule for all 32 clubs for the 2025-2026 regular season. Philadelphia will be featured on the national stage a total of 14 times, including 6 home games and 6 road games, and eight road games. The Flyers will appear exclusively on ESPN Plus a total of 4 times this season, including matchups against their interstate rivals, the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's really interesting. Pittsburgh Penguins on October 28th at Xfinity Mobile Arena and January 15th at PPG Paints Arena. Philadelphia will also be featured on ESPN Plus and Hulu 5 times. In addition, Philadelphia will be showcased on TNT a total of 4 times throughout the season, including through the Major 4 matchups with conference opponent Buffalo Sabres. Those contests include a pair of midweek matchups on Wednesday, December 3rd at Xfinity Mobile Arena at 7:30 Eastern, and on Wednesday, January 15th at the KeyBank Center at 7:30 p.m. So here's the schedule. On Tuesday, October 28th, the Philadelphia Flyers will have a home game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That'll be at 6 p.m. On Wednesday, December 3rd, they will be facing off against the Buffalo Sabres at 7:30 p.m. That will also be a home game. And then they'll be on the road on Thursday, December 18th, against the Buffalo Sabres at 7:30 p.m. Then on Tuesday, they'll be in Chicago for 9 p.m. a 9 p.m. game on Tuesday, December 23rd, against the Chicago Blackhawks. And then, once again in Buffalo, on Wednesday, January 14th, at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, they will be on the road. Then they'll be on the road Thursday, January 15th, against the Pittsburgh Penguins at PPG Paints Arena. A road game on Thursday, February 26th. We'll have a matchup against a road matchup with New York Rangers. On Saturday, February 28th, they will face off against the Boston Bruins, followed by a home matchup with the Washington Capitals on Wednesday, March 11th. And on Tuesday, March 24th, we'll have a matchup with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That game against Washington will be at 7:30 p.m. The game against Boston will be at 3 p.m. and the game against the Rangers will be at 8 p.m. The game against the Blue Jackets on Tuesday, March 24th will be at 7 p.m. And on Saturday, March 28th, they'll travel to Detroit to face off against the Detroit Red Wings. That'll be 8 p.m. start. And then on Sunday, April 5th, they'll face off against the Boston Bruins. That'll be a 3:30 p.m. start. And then on Tuesday, April 7th, they'll face off against the New Jersey Devils at 7 p.m. And then they will face off against the Detroit Red Wings on Thursday, April 9th at 6:30 p.m. So that's the national TV schedule. Okay, now moving on. Moving on now. In my next segment of this episode, I want to address the I want to address the rumors of Carter Hart making a return to the Philadelphia Flyers. My sister-in-law sent me a link to this, and it says here in this photo, dropping a bombshell here, if Carter Hart is clear and shows up in camp ready to compete, no contract, no politics, he can steal the Flyers net in Long Beach flat, and this was said by Rick Tockett. I myself is very excited about this. So, I'm very excited about the rumors of the Carter Hart return. So, I'm going to read this article about this potential return to the Philadelphia Flyers. So here we go. Flyers spark controversy with reported interest in Carter Hart comeback amid NHL uncertainty. This was posted on September 3rd. So I'm going to read this article to you guys. And it says here, according to a report, the Philadelphia Flyers are one of several teams interested in free agent goalie Carter Hart. On Tuesday, David Pagnotta, an NHL insider for NHL Network, and the fourth period reported that there are several teams, including the Philadelphia Flyers, interested in goaltender Carter Hart. But they continue to wait on the NHL's decision to determine when he is eligible to play. Hart, 27, was found not guilty of the sexual assault charge levied against him, stemming from the 2018 Hockey Canada case on July 24th. Though his reinstatement into the NHL is pending the league's decision. The Flyers' former second-round pick hasn't played competitive hockey since his last appearance for the Flyers, which saw him cede five goals on 15 shots in a 7-4 loss to the Colorado Avalanche on January 20th, 2024. Hart and Alex Formaton were the only players in the Hockey Canada case to have not played competitive hockey since being charged. Michael McLeod and Dylan Dubé each played in the KHL last season, while Cale Foote played in Slovakia. A potential Hart return makes for an interesting situation for the Flyers, given that they went out and signed Dan Vladar to a roster that already features Sam Ersson and Arnes Zotov Plus Carson Bjornsson is turning 4 this year. Unless he calls off, and expected to be back muffled. That's all. Actually, that is not true, because we care for this. It has been revealed that Alexei Kolosov went back to the Czech Republic, so he went back to his home country. So I doubt that Kolosov will be back this season. It can make for a crowded goalie room, but if the Flyers reported interest is true, they must have some kind of contingent plan of action. Perhaps the wisest move for Hart is to attempt return to a game for playing the AHL without a significant contractual commitments from the Flyers. This situation is very fresh, and there are still many moving parts. But this report is certainly fascinating, especially the time to start a training camp. But the opportunities okay. So that's the whole article. That's the whole article about Carter Hart. And I think this is a very interesting situation. Now, the only thing is, will this affect the way Carter Hart plays? Will this make Carter Hart a little rusty if not playing for about a year? Will that have an effect on his performance? And yet, that is one of my main questions, one of the main focuses for each and every Philadelphia Flyers fan. Will Carter Hart be good to go if he comes back to the team? And the question is, what are the Flyers going to do with all these goaltenders? I recently listened to the Flyers Alley Podcast, and they're hoping that Alexei Kolosov, him returning, that it's false. According to Flyers Alley, they said that Alexei Kolosov could go back. Alexei Kolosov has officially gone back to his home country. So that factor is pretty much not a factor right now because Alexei Kolosov is coming back to his home country. That is what I heard from the Flyers Alley Podcast. So we will not have Alexei Kolosov this season. So he is not part of the equation right now. As for the situation with Carter Hart, I myself would be happy to see Carter Hart back with the Flyers. It would be exciting. It would really put a lot of hype on this hockey team. And if it happens, and if Carter Hart if Carter Hart can still play, then maybe, just maybe, this rebuild probably won't be as long as we expected it to be. Now, like I said, if he starts, it's obvious that he probably will play a couple of games with the Lehigh Valley fans. Just to, just to help him get a feel for being a goalie again. To help him get a feel of competitive, just help him get a feel of competition. That way he'll be ready to go with the Flyers if the season starts. I will definitely have more information about this if it's true. Now these are just rumors, these are speculations, these are just rumors of Carter Hart making his return. Now anything, like I said, anything can happen. In November, CM Punk, in November of 2023, CM Punk made his return to the WWE. Last Friday, on WWE SmackDown, AJ Lee made her return, which I will be talking about right after this segment. AJ Lee made her return. So, anything can happen. We've seen a lot of strange occurrences this year. So, don't put it past us. We could see the return of Carter Hart this season. We could see the return. I'm very excited about that. But the Flyers, they have a lot of work to do if they want to re-sign. If they want to re-sign him, they're going to have a lot of work to do. Plus, they have a goalie situation once again. As now, they not only have, they have two goalies that they're going to have this season. Sam Ersson and Dan Lazar. So, this is going to be a very confusing situation for the Flyers organization. They have a lot of thinking to do and a lot of work to do. Like I said, it's not easy being the general manager of a hockey team. It's not easy. Well, that's all I really have to say about this whole situation with Carter Hart. I hope he comes back. If he does, I'll be happy about that. If he doesn't, it is what it is. Shit happens. There's nothing you can do about that. And honestly, I think the Flyers are going to do everything they can to re-sign him. That's just my opinion. Well, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And I'll be back. And when I come back, I will be talking about the return of AJ Lee. A return last Friday on SmackDown. And I'll also be talking about Monday Night Raw as well. So stay tuned. I'll be back. And I'll be talking about the return of AJ Lee when we come back from this commercial break. Okay, And we are back here on the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast. Before we get to commercial break, I talked about the Philadelphia Flyers national TV schedule. I also mentioned the Philadelphia Flyers rookie series with New York Rangers on Friday and Saturday. And I also addressed the Carter Hart rumors of him returning to the Philadelphia Flyers. And now we're in my final segment of this episode. A segment a lot of people have been waiting for. And that is my thoughts on the return of AJ Lee last Friday on SmackDown. Last Friday, I'm not going to do a whole review of SmackDown. I am going to talk about the final segment on SmackDown. Segment starts out with Becky Lynch. Starts out with Seth Rollins in a skybox talking crap about the Chicago crowd. We have Seth Rollins introducing his wife, Becky Lynch, and she is showered with boos from the Chicago crowd. Becky Lynch sits here, runs around. All of a sudden, cult of personality. Cult of personality. You hear cult of personality. And out walks CM Punk. And out walks CM Punk. And the Chicago crowd is going crazy. They're singing CM Punk's theme music. And they're just going crazy for CM Punk. CM Punk comes out. And he tells Becky Lynch, my problem isn't with you. My problem is with your coward of a husband hiding in a skybox. Becky Lynch then says, you know what, CM Punk? You're a loser. Chicago. Everyone in Chicago are losers. She's talking trash to CM Punk. She's slapping him in the face. CM Punk says, you don't think I have friends here in Chicago? I have sisters that can come out here and kick and whoop your ass. Then after that, we hear him say, what, you don't think I can get Bailey to come out here and whoop your ass? And Becky Lynch says, I kicked her ass too. All of a sudden, after that, he says, what, you don't think I can call in the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, if I need help? And Becky Lynch says, you got no one. You have absolutely nobody. CM Punk walks out of the ring. Becky Lynch berates Punk in the city of Chicago. And Punk says, now, I can't put my hands on a woman. But I know somebody who will. All of a sudden, AJ Lee's entrance music plays. And AJ Lee walks out, does her famous entrance. She walks out to the ring. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins have a look of shock on their face. AJ Lee comes out, gets in the ring, beats the hell out of Becky Lynch. And SmackDown goes off the air. Let me tell you something. It's been 10 long years since we've seen AJ Lee in the WWE. All I said, I quoted. I said in one of my tweets, on one of my posts on Twitter, I said that it looks like hell froze over once again. AJ Lee is back. And you know what? I was excited to see AJ Lee back in the WWE. It's been a long time since we've seen AJ Lee. The last time we saw AJ Lee in the WWE ring, it was against Nikki Bella. And that year was 2014. AJ Lee came to WWE in 2010. The WWE introduced the third season of NXT. And AJ Lee was one of the many contestants for many of the future women's wrestlers on our show. I say women's wrestlers. I don't like saying divas. Divas is a little passe. And she made her career, made her debut along with one of her good friends, Caitlyn. They became a tag team known as the Chick Busters. In 2012, she was involved in a storyline with Daniel Bryan, where Daniel Bryan and her were a couple. Shortly after that, Daniel Bryan broke up with AJ Lee in 2012 after Daniel Bryan lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Sheamus at WrestleMania that year. After this, after Daniel Bryan broke her heart, AJ Lee developed a persona of a woman who was scorned by many different men. Shortly after that, there was a love triangle between AJ Lee, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Kane. Many years later, in the summer of 2012, August of 2012, AJ Lee became the official general manager of Monday Night Raw. During this time, she was involved in a feud between John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. It turned out that the whole storyline was that John Cena and AJ Lee were having an affair. It was Vicky Guerrero that spreaded the rumors about John Cena and AJ Lee having an affair. A match, after all this, a match culminated at the 2012 TLC pay-per-view, where John Cena faced off against Dolph Ziggler. During that match, it looked like AJ Lee was coming out to help John Cena after Vicky Guerrero got involved in the match. AJ Lee got rid of Vicky Guerrero. It looked like she was going to help John Cena. While John Cena was climbing the ladder, AJ Lee pushed the ladder over, knocking John Cena off the ladder. After this, Dolph Ziggler. Well, actually, I think this is the random tag pay-per-view. Dolph Ziggler got pulled down with the Money in the Bank briefcase. And Dolph Ziggler got the victory, beating John Cena, thanks to the help of AJ Lee. After this, Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee became a couple. After this for weeks, John Cena used Dolph Ziggler. And it looked like things were going well. On the December 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw, in the main event, it was John Cena and Vicky Guerrero versus AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler. When the match came to an end, a superstar from NXT came out to help out AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler. And that superstar was Big E. But at the time, he was known as Big E Langston. And he became the bodyguard of Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. Many months later, Dolph Ziggler became World Heavyweight Champion, cashing in on Alberto Del Rio on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Shortly after this, Dolph Ziggler was in a feud with Alberto Del Rio. There would be a rematch at WWE Money in the Bank 2013, in which Alberto Del Rio took advantage of Dolph Ziggler, who was suffering from a concussion at the time. Del Rio captured the title back from Dolph Ziggler. After this, we would see a shift in Dolph Ziggler, as Dolph Ziggler officially turned babyface for the first time. After this, during a rematch on episode of Monday Night Raw, it was Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio. A hooded figure came out to the ring, and the hooded figure was AJ Lee. Prior to this, Dolph Ziggler had broken it off with AJ Lee. After this, AJ Lee turned on Dolph Ziggler, got some retribution, on a newly turned babyface Dolph Ziggler and set out to destroy Dolph Ziggler with the help of her friend, Big E. Fast forwarding all the way to 2014, it was WrestleMania. In 2014. And it was WWE Payback, where AJ Lee faced off against her former best friend Caitlyn for the WWE Divas Championship. It was AJ Lee who defeated Caitlyn to become Divas Champion for the first time. Shortly after that, AJ Lee became Divas Champion once again. But ends up losing the championship to a new signee in the WWE. And that signee was Paige. Paige defeated AJ Lee to capture the Divas Championship. I also got to mention AJ Lee got the title back by defeating Paige and becoming champion again. Years later, her and Paige became tag team partners. And Paige turned back on AJ Lee, with the same feud between the two. Fast forward to AJ Lee's last appearance, which I mentioned before, in 2014. Her last appearance was in a match against one of the Bell Twins, which AJ Lee was defeated in that match. 9 years after that, we did not see AJ Lee for many, many years. And now she's officially popped up on SmackDown. And made another appearance on Monday Night Raw. That's right. Setting up a match between AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at the upcoming pay-per-view, WrestlePalooza. And I'll tell you, Monday Night Raw was actually a pretty damn good episode. And one of the best segments that stole the show was the segment between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Between AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. That was one of the best segments of Monday Night Raw. We had AJ Lee doing her wrestling work on the microphone, saying a lot of trash about Becky. If you think about AJ Lee, when she talks trash, she knows how to back it up. Hence the black eye that Becky Lynch had. So one thing is, never ever mess with a woman's husband. Never mess with a man's wife. Because if you do that, you're going to go through hell. And that's exactly what AJ Lee's going to do. She came out with Becky Lynch's Intercontinental Championship, which she stole from Becky, which is pretty funny, if you ask me. AJ Lee is good at playing mind games with her opponents. That's why I like her. She is one of the best people in playing mind games. I gotta say, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they're gonna be in for it at WrestlePalooza. I also wanted to mention, I feel like Becky Lynch is just like Al Bundy. Because every time Becky Lynch has to talk, she always has to mention that she was in Sports Illustrated. It kind of reminds me of how Al Bundy used to always say, us were touchdowns and pull time. And that's what it reminds me of. Let me tell you something. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they're going to be in for a fight. Whether they win or lose, they're still going to get their asses kicked by AJ Lee and CM Punk. Well, guys, I'll be right back. I got a few more things that I need to say. So I'm going to come back with the conclusion of this week's episode of the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast. I'm going to take one more commercial break, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and now we are back here on the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast, and I want to share my closing thoughts with each and every one of you. I just gotta say, I'm very excited for the rookie game coming up on the rookie game. I'm excited for the two games coming up on Saturday, on Friday, September 12th, and Saturday, September 13th. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future of this Philadelphia Flyers team is all about. I am also very interested in this feud with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. I really think that there's a lot of possible opponents for AJ Lee. And now I'd love to see AJ Lee feud with Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Championship. It's possible opponents that I'd like to see her wrestle. I'd love to see her wrestle Tiffany Stratton for their title. I'd also like to see her wrestle Stephanie McCare as well. That would be a good feud. Let's not forget a feud with her and Roxanne Perez. Now that would be a good feud. And let's not forget that maybe if Naomi returns, we could see a feud between Naomi and AJ Lee. There's a lot of other great movies to see AJ Lee go off against. Women like Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. There's so many possibilities. Hell, even maybe we can see her in a feud with, maybe we can see her wrestle Moira Fury. That would be interesting. And also, let's not forget, we can also see her if Liv Morgan makes a return. Maybe we'll see her and Liv Morgan in a wrestling match, right? There's a lot of possibilities for AJ Lee's return. And I'm very excited about that. As for this whole Carter Hart situation, like I said in the beginning, these are just rumors. we don't know for sure if Carter Hart can make a return. Now, in the past, whenever there was a free agent that many teams wanted to sign, most of the time we were unlucky at signing those free agents. But back then, we had Chuck Fletcher. And Chuck Fletcher was the worst general manager that we ever had. But we had Danny Briere. So I think that Danny Briere is going to do everything in his power to make sure the Flyers sign Carter Hart. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about a lot. Not just in the world of Flyers hockey, but in the world of wrestling as well. Like I said, we're going to have a few surprises coming to this YouTube channel. Not just on YouTube, but throughout social media as well. So, I hope you guys are ready. We got some surprises coming up. One surprise I have coming up will be on September 23rd. Another surprise will be sometime after September 17th. So I'm very excited to share this with you guys, with each and every one of you. I can't tell you what the surprises are. You're just going to have to find out on September 23rd and any days and sometime after September 17th. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here on this week's edition of the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast. If I hear anything else about Carter Hart, I'll definitely let you know in a future episode. I'm excited for the 2 rookie games coming up this weekend, and I'm also excited for the preseason, which will be coming up next Sunday. I'm very excited for that. And I'm very excited for the regular season on October 9th, 2025, when the Philadelphia Flyers face off with the Florida Panthers. Guys, thank you for joining me, and have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time here on the Timmy Flyersguy Podcast.